congratulations on the movie, which is getting praises literally from everywhere and anywhere. Both sort of the public and critics have just loved this. How did you find yourself involved in Weapons?
Weapons for me was kind of a special get, if you will, because I'm a workman actor. I'm out here auditioning and doing my thing as an actor, trying to be good. And randomly, I get a text from my agent, and they said the Weapons is checking your availability for this certain amount of time, and I hadn't auditioned for it. So I'm a fan of Zach Cregger and of, I followed the trades. So I knew about this movie and I was like, what? Like this is incredible. So yeah, the next day I had a meeting with Zach and I got I mean he basically just wanted to tell me about the role and make sure that I was cool with what happens to my character. That's all I'll say. And I said, heck yeah, I am. And yeah, I mean, out of the blue, I kind of like got cast, and I'm so glad and grateful that I did because it's such a cool movie to be a part of.
I think your character is very memorable because he has one of the few sort of comic relief sort of things going on before it all turns very dark, obviously.
Yeah,
And it's impossible to forget that character. That's why it makes what happens afterwards into such a shocking sort of event.
right.
How was that character? How was that sold to you? How did you, where you wanted to play it? Like a mixture of sort of um
Yeah, I mean, I knew, and I kind of was like, I do want to find the humor in this, even though because I had read the script before and I knew kind of what happens. And having seen Barbarian, it's not that it's a comedy at all, but it's like there are moments that can come across funny. I think partly because the tension is so thick, those lighter moments hit way harder, so the audience erupts into laughter because they're releasing some tension. But I don't think that they would be as funny, if it weren't put up against that tension. But all I wanted to do, I knew I had kind of a short period to make an impact, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get the audience really on my side and really on board with this guy. So when we go on his short journey, it's effective.
mm,
And like the cool thing again about Zach Cregger is he knows exactly what he's doing. He's talked about this. He plans every shot, like nothing, like things happen in the moment on set, but nothing's really accidental. So if you've seen online, there's this kind of like hot dog moment that's kind of going viral.
mm,
And it was planned, not planned to go viral, but like that was like his playful energy. It's in the script. And when I saw those hot dogs, I was like, whatever this is, I love it. It's working. Let's do it. And I will say I did the mustard design on the hot dog, so I'm very proud of that.
Oh, I love that scene. I thought that scene was just like it just came out of nowhere. And it's like
I
it's
know.
happening, people screaming at each other. There's always lots of brooding and the sort of binge drinking, and then you get that kind of soft sort of setting between you and Benedict Wong's character. Let's talk about Benedict. What was it like working with him? And he's a fabulous. We love him. I mean, he's just a fantastic British actor who's
Yeah,
been
he's a
for a
British actor.
while. Yeah, who
People don't really realize that he has such a strong British accent whenever, like, because he's always so into the character, you never really know how he talks.
yeah.
And he's like a true Brit when you meet him and get to know him.
Mm.
I mean, he's just like the sweetest, kindest person, and I respect him as an actor so much. So I think it's kind of cool when you get to work on these projects surrounded by bigger actors that are more well known to see that they're just passionate about the craft and about the storytelling, like truly, it makes you kind of be like, oh, cool. I'm like, we're all part of the same club because we just want to tell fun stories and play these fun characters. And I mean, he's amazing. We got to spend time off set because I was in Atlanta for a long time, and we went to Nobu and he paid for dinner. I was like, this is amazing.
Bless
He's a
him.
great person. I know.
No, he's
Because
fantastic.
I couldn't afford it.
Oh, no, he's just like a wonderful actor, and just it's always good to see someone like him who sort of came up on British TV, sort of going up doing such big things, and including the Marvel stuff. Let's talk about you and your own career, and this is like going to be stratospheric for you, I'm guessing, because you're already getting lots of praise for that particular scene. What kind of genre are you usually more comfortable in? I know you said you really liked Barbarian, but what other stuff have you liked in the past?
I mean, I'm finding that, like I'm a comedian in my own right, and I make a lot of content in that space. So I do love playing in the comedic world, but I think more what that says about me as an actor is I'm interested in characters, like bigger characters. Like my big like task as an actor and what I want to do more of is finding ways to make these interesting, larger than life characters, but kind of ground them in this space. Like that's my favorite type of acting to watch and to bear witness to. So like that's kind of what I'm into. I mean, the horror space is just like there's nothing more fun because you get to do things that you don't get to do in like a traditional movie. Like maybe not saying that this happens in the movie, but maybe you get to be maybe you get to be covered in blood or like, and not all actors like to be laying in a pool of blood for like 5 hours, but for some reason I kind of enjoy that. It just makes it's fun. I like wearing prosthetics. I just like the whole thing. So I'm very much loving the horror genre, but again, if I'm in a dramatic role, um I like to bring that character and that, people are funny in real life and we're very like quirky and all that stuff. And when you can bring that energy to any type of role, really.
Yeah, I was chatting to my fellow podcast host, a good friend of mine who I do a show with every week, and he is not a fan of horror. He's very intrigued by weapons, but absolutely petrified of sort of letting himself be dragged into a screening of this. What would you say to a non-horror fan to sort of make them perhaps attempt to sort of get themselves prepared for this story?
I mean, I look at it more of just like a really good movie that happens to have some horror elements in it. Truly. Like, I think right now we're really in this moment of like, oh, this is like the horror movie of the year. And it is. But I think when we look back, we're going to be like, oh, this is like a really good movie that's like a classic beyond just the elements of horror. And I actually love what Zach Cregger did with this because it's a movie and a story first, and all those elements are like kind of stacked in. So, I mean, it's scary. I'm not gonna lie, but I think you can cover your face. Cover your eyes in those moments and enjoy the rest of it.
Actually,
Or
yeah,
yeah.
you are right because it's not. This is why genre gets overseen when it comes to sort of award season. It's kind of like it's like a sort of an unwritten rule where genre doesn't get a second look in because people are sort of throw it on one side. This feels very much like a real drama movie,
Yeah.
like that could is that important for you to make that distinction, or are you proud of it being a horror anyway?
I mean, for me, like I'm proud to be in a horror movie, and I think that just because something's a horror movie doesn't mean it can't be great or be like the best picture of the year or anything like that. Like Barbarian again, when that came out, like whatever genre that was my favorite movie that year for sure because of the experience you have watching it. You can't deny the experience of watching something like Weapons. Like the experience itself and going through those ups and downs and all like that, like why would we not want that? Why would we? That's what we want from movies is like, I mean, when I saw it at the premiere, I hadn't seen anything but a little bit of my own scenes. And the audience was, I mean, it was like crazy. And a lot of us were like, was this just because it was like the premiere that it was so wild? And it's like, no, people are like, that's how they're experiencing it. But I've said from the beginning, working opposite of Amy Madigan, I was like, I think she's gonna get nominated for an Oscar for this.
We all
I
think
really
we're gonna get the best supporting, definitely.
I really do think so. And I think that that's incredible. And like that'll be such a breaky. It's kind of like the movie industry needs a little shaking up. So I think that like that is gonna be if that happens, that's gonna be like just something that's gonna help shake things up and just be like, oh, unique movies are back and original stories are back and let's go.
Yeah, we only got a couple of more minutes left, so I'm going to ask you about what are you working on at the moment, and has your phone started ringing more now that you've been in this movie?
I mean, I think it's interesting that like my agent and manager, I'm like, let's kind of like, let's take just from the acting perspective, like let's like run with this. Like, how can we, to be in like more horror movies or like more of the kind of like wild B horror would be fun for me. And I'm working on I think I can say I'm working on the new Cape Fear, which is
Oh my
happening.
goodness. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
which is they're shooting we're shooting right now for Apple TV and that has been like a dream come true for me as well.
Wow.
But I mean, I'm along for the ride. I love being an actor. I love the whole I love the business of acting. I love being an actor. I love trying to get better at acting. And I love the content that I make online. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And if the phone rings, I'm gonna answer it.
Can I ask who you're playing in Cape Fear?
I can't I mean I
Oh,
hate to be annoying, but it's like I can't
oh,
really talk about
I'm such
like
a fan of that story, both movies,
oh
the
yeah, like
Robert
the original.
Mitchum and De Niro. I mean, just fabulous stories.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean the cast is announced. It's like Javier Bardem playing the Max Cady
Ah,
role
uh-huh.
and
That makes
Patrick Wilson.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just I mean, it's a blast and I can't wait for that to come out too.
fabulous. Thank you so much for talking to me. Congratulations again. I've been sort of shouting about this movie for for weeks now, and I'm so happy it's doing so well. And congratulations to you and to Zach.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey,